Hi guys, Road Warrior back here again. Recently I got another first place in salmon class. I just want to kind of give you guys an updated guide here or tips here for 2025. Just a few things I noticed here in this run, as well as some of the guys that are entering this comp for the very first time. If you need a bunch of marks, that sort of thing, you can look at some of my previous podium section on my playlist as well. Special congratulations to Keith as well. That was up there, I think is Jur. There's kind of the setup I use. One thing I wanted to go over too, if you don't have the Liberty Medium Spoon, make sure you guys are looking at your mastering missions here located in your main tabs. Go down and you can just kind of click to the right depending on what platform you're on. Make sure you guys are completing. There's a lot of good hidden gems in there. I did lose that walker a long time ago. Unfortunately, that's a great lure. But go look through here and just kind of look at the criteria, what you have to do. Some of them can be a little time consuming, but this one here is not too much. But I did used to use the Liberty Medium Spoon or the Trophy Medium Spoon before I had the Liberty Medium Spoon. There's nothing wrong with that lure. As well as if you don't have the Club Series topper, or that sort of thing. Spinners work, toppers, green topper, that sort of thing. Just kind of depending on what you want to do. One updated thing here again, I'm just going to show this mark here. My buddy Jared gave this to me a long time ago. You can just kind of stand here by this bush throwing here. Now again, if you want to use a spinner, medium spoons, entirely up to you. I prefer toppers. Again, I like to challenge myself to learn all lower classes, but that's all up to you on what you guys want to use here on Salmon Clash. I kind of don't normally just stand by that bush. Now this spot up here I've kind of fine-tuned. Every little point can help you. I do just stand on this point here. I did fine-tune this mark. So over here, I don't even have a stand mark. I just know I'm going to stand on the corner. In the upcoming clip, you will see where I stand on the run itself. I do stand just right there on that point. So, a guy that runs out of marks frequently or marker buoys, mental note there, I just stand. Now, as far as an updated thing as well here for 2025, if you like throwing toppers, that sort of thing, I did shorten the traditional mark, and you'll know again on the upcoming clip, I wanted to go over these marks for you guys. Some of you guys that are experienced in this already, but I do fish there. Also, kind of key notes here on this one for sure on this run. I did end up turning snag warnings on a ways back. Sometimes you'll just really get bad luck in this one, but another thing to do, work the lure all the way up. Sometimes you'll see that fish back there if you look close. That's just an example of me getting this trophy out. You guys that's played in this before do know that you want to get these, especially the unique, out fairly quick. I'm not your trophy. Sometimes it'll linger behind. It is around 37.5 to 38 minutes real time. And again, thanks Super Dave for that exact number there, as well as a guy by the name of Tom the Flush that I know helped a long time ago when David put up a traditional guide on this one. So special thanks to Tom the Flush and Super Dave both. Also looking at that timestamp here, it's 37.5 minutes. That first one, they're going to be available. However, by the time I got held up here at the top, it's not available. So do keep those key notes in mind. You don't want to fish somewhere and go back to it if the fish are not available, guys. Make sure you're not making those mistakes. From there, it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, I do love the topper, but I can catch them on a medium spoon, spinner, any single spoon, anything that you like for them. I would say go with what you like the most. But again, you don't have to have all the best lures in the world, but you can score just fine with a green topper or a trophy medium spoon, or heck, even just a regular medium spoon if you wanted. Also, a keynote there. You notice there I fished, the fish flew off. Keep that lure going. Sometimes you'll find that even though common flew off, the trophy might be right behind it. So do keep that on as well. In this particular instance, I knew my respawns will not be available at the top, so I have to pick up every point that I can. Also, you could have some really, really good runs in this. If you have time, it doesn't hurt to go over and kill a few minutes to try to get, there's 6 points available here. I only ended up getting 4, but you'll see kind of how this one ends up at the end. That you'll notice every point literally counts in this. So if any of you guys that are looking at the podium in this is probably one of the more fun, definitely, very strategic competition in regards to here on lure fishing here on Fishing Planet. A lot to learn. This is something you'll have to practice for, but definitely, I would say one of the most popular competitions here on Fishing Planets. Once you learn your way around it, you'll do just fine. Again, here is that short cast. I would be careful doing the old rope-a-dope there. I have lost fish on stream before doing that, so be careful. You're trying to get the fish in fairly quick. That way you get your lure back out in the water. Again, just watching how slow I work this. Even if the fish misses, sometimes it'll come right back. So I do recommend working that lure if you're going the topper route. You'll also notice if you're throwing a spinner in that spot, you're going to get, there's a little ledge there, so beware of that. Also, again, make sure you know where the water depth are that they're normally biting. As you can see also, if you wanted to throw a 4-0 spinner in this spot, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't always have to throw a roach spoon or some big jigging spoon to try to get these Chinook out. Sometimes you're better off just kind of going in that medium hook range. As you can see here, that's a nice 69 pounder off of a 4-0. Sometimes hook sizes are not as much as we think, in my opinion. Sometimes your fish drop might just be another note thing I picked up here on the fly here. Now, this happens, I want to say, 4 times throughout this run. My traditional spot, I just wasn't getting the coho out, so I looked, but it glanced out of the corner of my eye and did see that. I wanted to slow that down and show you. Now watch here what happens. Very next cast, I cast into the spot where I seen this fish jumping. This might be something as we move forward here. Again, not 100% foolproof as always, but if you're having a trouble in your traditional spots, do look for any of these fish, especially lure fish that are jumping. Make sure that you're being aware of this, and I'll show you in the upcoming run here later on that this happens multiple times throughout. I want to say I counted 4 times that I threw where the fish were jumping and they were actually there. That would be a big help if in the event they have migrated away or something like that, that you do, you're fishing where the fish are actually spawning. That would help. Again, as we go forward here, we never know what the devs include into the game. Sometimes, whether we admit it or not, it might be fact, it might be fiction. We don't know until we keep testing this stuff out. Again, moving over here, just quick setups if you need to see them. Okay, now we're up at the top. Same kind of a thing here, even though this is a different species. I'm pretty sure that's a pink. My spot to the left, if you noticed, I didn't get a strike. We're closing down here with 11 minutes left, but I basically just threw right where I just seen that fish animation where it was jumping up. Also keeping an eye on the right side. I'm watching Chinook there when I was doing this run, and they're jumping to the right. And I know sometimes I'll catch them to the right or center if you're following along with what I'm saying. So as you guys are out there and embarking on these things, see if you start noticing these sort of things too. Did get the trophy coho. Now again, going back, zoomed in on the salmon. And as I was reeling that one in, sure enough, again, on the very next cast, I found myself just being hopeful since I just seen that thing jumping. I know when they first introduced that a ways back, I thought that was maybe just for looks, but again, I'm not going to say 100% it is a thing just yet, but it is something to keep a key note on. For me in particular, this run in general, I noticed it did seem to help right where they were. Oddly enough, again, I do end up getting that. Also, pay attention to your timestamp there again. Knowing that it was around 37.5 minutes, approximately 6.5 to 7 minutes, you want to be back over there. But again, I'm trying to get points, so coming back over here. Sometimes if you come over here too early for your respawns, you're just going to get nothing but commons anyway. So why not try to get a couple points before you come over here? Again, don't come over here real early with 9 or 10 minutes left. Also, if you get snagged up there, keep the lure working as long as you don't have a shell or bark, that sort of thing, or a trash cleaner award. Keep that thing working right after you bounce off the rock. Sometimes that will come, as you can see, getting down here to the wire, closing in here. Also, that you'll see here in the same thing after I pull this scoring fish out. Notice closely again what I've mentioned before. There, and thank you, Zat, as well, for saying let's go for the chum road. As you can see, the chum jumps right there. Boom, very cast. As I just seen that out of the corner of my eye, I cast exactly where this thing jumps, guys, and I'll let the rest of this clip speak for itself. All right, guys, as always, try it before you trust it, but I did pick up on that at least. I hope this helps you guys out in the Salmon Clash in the future. If it does, please feel free to subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.